Crossing my fingers. It's going live. Had to reset again. See if it's, there we are. It says it's live. Where's it at? There it is. Okay. Okay. I'm just double checking, making sure it's not glitchy and weird, which I checked it on my channel. Okay, is it just my phone now that's being weird? I'm hoping it's just my phone, because the shadows and everything look like they're... Okay, we're just gonna go with that. I do apologize about that. I am gonna go ahead and share this. There's that. And then come into here. Let's see. Hopefully that goes okay. Okay. I thinky that we're rolling. I hope. I'll try and keep an eye, because I watch on my phone to make sure everything goes good. But, you know, sometimes I miss. So hopefully get that on live chat for when people pop in. And greetings, everyone. This is Elizabeth. Welcome to the Crescent Creation YouTube channel. Today we are working with Lawn Fawn's Snowball Fight, and of course we get one thing working and then we're like totally washed out. There we go. Look at that. Snowball Fight. The little Mises and their... I love the snowman mouse. Isn't he the cutest? And you have your little snowball mound and your little critters ducking, throwing snowballs. And they give you a snowball for each direction, so you can definitely pop those in there however you want. I've got some acetate that I salvaged from some stamps that got put away. So we're just going to clean that up with a little bit of rubbing alcohol. And I've got an extra just in case I mess up my cut. Because you never know. And then I've got some patterned paper that I thought would be, to have a nice background for my shaker element. So I'm going to cut a circle shaker and have it on the front of this, which we'll decorate up. And just wanted a nice easy background so that we can really delve into the shaker part. And to do my shaker, I'm just going to use some stacked circles, you know, out of your die cutting machine. So hello, Miss Maureen, how are you doing? We just got started, so haven't missed anything. So you can decide how big you want your little shaker by placing your circles on your mat. So, okay. And actually, that looks like a really good circle shape. And then we'll want the second circle, okay, because we want to hide our foam tape. Okay, and for the foam tape, I have some new foam tape from Crescent Creation. It's pretty thick. It's going to be super great for our shaker card, which I've already used some on another shaker card. So we have 1/4 inch, so a little bit fatter, and then 1/8 inch strips. So we can put our little dies together and determine what size of tape we want to use. Okay, we'll just pull this little guy off of there. So an 1/8 inch will fit in there very nicely. Or we could downsize this little circle and have a really big frame, which either way it's going to be super cute, right? And then I could use the 1/4 inch if I wanted to. Pardon me. Which, you know, I might do that. We might do the 1/4 inch. Because, let me think. We're going to have our little... And this, I'm a visual thinker, so I got to lay everything out. So we're going to have our little shaker, okay? And that will be the border of it, a nice fat little border. And inside the shaker, we're going to put our little mound. So we will be fussy cutting, I think. That way there, we could put our little mice on the outside of the ring. Like they're throwing their little snowballs. And then we'll do like a little hill. We'll make our own little hill. A little paper hill for that. And we'll do it by blending and masking, I think. I'll show you how to do that. And then we've got little mounds of snowballs that we can use. Like, we could put our little snowball pile right there. So yeah, that's going to be super cute. We'll stamp that off a little. Our little snowball. We could probably even stamp our little mouse in the background, our snow mouse, if we wanted to. That might be a little too much though. Gotta edit. Let's do some editing. Okay, so we have those, but we could definitely add in our snowballs that they're throwing. Maybe put a little flag on ours. Oh yeah, there we go. We definitely need the flag. And this guy would be throwing his snowball. And then, where's the other snowball? This guy would be throwing his snowball. I think that's looking good. So yeah, we'll just need to fussy cut these unless you guys pick up the matching dies. Like so. And then we'll have a nice... ooh, I like this one. Hope your day is a hit. Look at that. We can stamp that right on this piece because this will be behind everything. And then we can emboss this piece right here. The hope your day is a hit. Hello, Miss Dawn. So we have that. So we may not need the snowballs. But you never know. You never know. They're there if we need them. We could probably do the tiny little snowflakes that it comes with. And it comes with tiny little hearts. And a tiny little heart. It's so teeny weeny. And little star and some snowflakes. So we might add some of those in there. And all of these elements are going to be stamped on our circle when we get it cut out. And then these guys we will stamp and fussy cut. So we need a piece. So what do we need? We need a piece to cut and create our scene on. So we need a scrap piece of paper for that, which I have handy right here. Okay, I'll put my glasses on so I can actually see what I'm doing. Okay, so we'll set that aside. We've got that. Now, we've got our acetate, which does need cleaned up, but I'm going to clean it after I run it through the machine so that, you know, I don't have to clean it twice. I need to put my foam tape back on so it doesn't get mucky mucked. Okay, and we've got our, this will be our card panel. And I've got some sequins to add for our shaker bits, which you can find at crescentcreation.com. Down in the link, you'll have an affiliate link for the Snowball Fight. And from there, you can check out the rest of the website. So pop on over there. Use code Elizabeth Creates. And type it in here. Come on. There it is. Elizabeth Creates to save 10% on regular priced items. A lot of stuff is already on sale. So if you want some regular priced items, you might have to message Neha at Crescent Creation. Their emails on the website. And you can say, hey, I did 1 or 2 orders. Can we combine them, save on shipping? Or, you know, you do your order and say, I ordered a regular priced item. Can I get my 10% off? And die cutting. Die cutting. That's what we need to do. Grr. Okay. So here we go. Here we go. So I need to cut a big circle. I gotta think how many I need to do, right? Okay, this is our card base, which we need. Okay, so we need this to stamp our little dudes, okay, and our acetate. And this is what you need to do. You need to put your acetate between the die and the paper. So the die is gonna fight through the acetate to cut your paper. So that's how we're gonna get that cut. And then we are gonna need like a pattern paper to do our cover up sheet. So I just got to decide on a cover up piece that will look good with this. Okay. So here we go. We're just gonna send that through. Send it through to the other side. Kind of slippery. Just needs to make sure it stays on our little acetate there. Oops. All my snow pieces. Stay put. Oops. Oh, stamps stuck to my thing because I wasn't paying attention, hopefully. Set right on the edge. Okay. So, we'll send this through. And to be doubly sure, I'm just going to run that through twice. In and back out the way we came. Okay. And there we have a perfect cut. Well, it definitely cut through the circle. This acetate was a little bit thicker than normal acetate, but it did perforate it. So all I got to do is peel like so. And now we have a perfectly cut circle. And what I think I'm going to do to save on paper, right, because we like to save on paper, I'm going to set that right aside. I'm going to grab, this is going to be my background piece, right? So I'm going to cut the circle right out of it because my shaker is going to sit right on this. So we're not going to see some of this pattern. So I'm just going to use that to my advantage. I'm going to do 5 1/4. Okay. By 4. So I'm taking a 1/4 inch off. 5 1/4 by 4. Okay. That will give us a lovely little white border. Okay, just like so. So that's that. And then, okay, because our shaker is going to sit there, I'm going to use the bigger circle to cut this, and then just so I don't mess up, I'll go back and put this in the center. So I'm just going to tape this where I want it because I really don't want this piece to move. Okay. And then when we build up our shaker, we'll set it right in the center so it hides the fact that we took some of the goods out of this one, right? So I want to make sure that this is up because remember we're going to put our sentiment down here. So I'm going to try and have even space on these 3 spots. Give or take a smidge. Okay, just like so. Look at that. And then we're going to send it through our machine. Well, thank you ladies for hanging out with me today. I really do appreciate it. It's kind of a nice Thursday. People go for a walk or go out. Okay. So we have our beautiful circle. And a low tack washi tape is all I'm using. And we're going to save those pieces and use them again. Okay. So this is going to be our card panel. This little piece right here is going to be our shaker cover up. Okay. Let's get this back over here so I can see what I'm doing. And then I'm going to get my little ring. And then I can really see what I'm doing. Make sure that's nice and even. Okay. And we'll just send that right on through. Come here, little gem. Put this back down here. Ugh. Get this out of our way. Ugh. Okay, so here's our pieces. We have the card base that we're going to put everything on. We have our front panel, okay, which we're going to stamp our sentiment on. Then we have our circle that we're going to build our design on. And that's going to pop right in there. See that? Haha. Okay. And then we're going to take our acetate and build that up so that we have a shaker area. Got to build that up. And then we have our ring to go right out there, just like so. Okay. To hide our foam tape that's going to go around there. So this is what we've got going on. Lots of lovely circles. We might even pop this one up. That might be fun. Okay, and so this is our design. So what we need to make sure we do is we create within the boundaries. Now the image can definitely run off. It'll look more natural, but we want to make sure our main focus and everything is in the center. Okay, so for the inside, we've got our flag, and we've got our little iceberg wall, our little Mises, and then they're throwing snowballs for those. Okay, get over there and stay. And we've got scrap paper from when we cut our original, so we'll be able to cut our mice off of that. And then we've got extra bits. These little bits will be great for paper piecing later, so don't throw those away, especially these nice big ones. You can even do sentiments over those. I mean, all sorts of goodies. And that's just paper from my stash. All right, and then see how we want to do this, because I want to do it like there's a little mound here. Okay, and in order to do a little mound, we're going to have to mask that off. So like a little lumpy hill is going to be there. So I'm going to grab just a piece of paper. I mean, it doesn't have to be anything spectacular. Absolutely nothing spectacular. And then I'm just going to kind of go from one edge to the other. Send this up there because I can see the circle through here. Okay, so I can just say, okay, that's gonna go lump and like that. See that? Just a lump. Nothing too crazy. Okay, so I'm just gonna trim that out. I'm just going to cut straight down. Okay. This is just copy paper. You can even use masking paper, especially if you're doing a lot of these. Use some masking paper so that you can peel and stick and do tons and tons. So there's our little hill. Okay. So now when I stamped this down, we're not going to see all of the blocks on the bottom. It'll look like there's a little hill, and then we can color that in. And I am going to use a blue ink to stamp it. There's my Clear Skies. I like Clear Skies. It's a nice, bright, fun blue. We're just going to get our little, I say little, and then I grab like the biggest stamping block I have. Crash. So we're just gonna pick up our block. Okay, and since our ring is like here, we can set that there and see how things are gonna look. I like to do a test, especially with colored inks, because sometimes they need a little extra love to get some extra inks on there. Oh yeah, look at that. Nice blue stamp, and then we're just gonna kind of position that by our hill and stamp. Nice even pressure. Give it a minute to acclimate. Okay, and see that we have that beautiful void. And you're like, it's not that beautiful. Yes, it is. Because now we're going to take a bluish marker, something that will still show up, but still look like snow. Nice gray color. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to piece this back together, like so. And I'm going to scooch it down just a hair. Okay, so I pulled my mask down just a hair, so that when I draw my line, when I trace my paper, okay, it's gonna touch those blue lines. And if it doesn't, I can just go in and make it a little bit thicker. So there is my snow, my little snowbank. And then maybe there's a snowbank back here. so. And then maybe a little lump of snow here. That it might get covered up, but that's okay. Little snowy lump right there. And it doesn't need to be perfect. It doesn't need to be beautimous. Is everybody doing okay out there? Quiet little chat today. Okay. And then I'm just going to color this in with the big fatty part. Make it directional. Okay. Pin's kind of dying, and that's okay. It's just going to give us more texture. Like so. There we go. A little bit of funness. There we go. Oh, almost forgot this guy back here. Go over it a couple times in some areas so it looks a little snowy. Look at that. Cover our ink up. Alright. And I think we'll tone it down a little bit. I mean, the white is really pretty, but we want it not so stark. So I'm just going to take a little bit of blue, just a little bit, and just swirl that in. Big swirls will give you more airiness to it. It's not showing up in the camera, but there's some light blue going on. I'll darken it up so you guys can see a little bit. Just get those nice big swirls. Look at that. And then we'll add some of that blue down here because it's a beautiful blue. Hello, Debbie J. How are you doing? Oh, look at that. So we've made our little snowball hill for our snowball wall. And I lost the lid to my ink. There it is, sitting right there. Ramona! On your lunch break. Fabulous. Fabulous. Okay. So there's that. Okay. So now we can stamp our little flag and all the fun stuff. Okay. Oops, let's put that flag on there right. So I'm going to set mine a little crooked, which means when I go and ink this up, I'm just going to clean the bottom of my stamp so that I can make it a little crooked. And I think we need a purple flagpole. Thank you very much for that, Miss Debbie J. Yeah, a little stressful. My live was being ridiculous again, so there, I just cleaned that just a teeny bit, and then I'm gonna angle this, although I should have cleaned it at an angle. Let's try this again. Okay, and then I can see through the stamp and see the blue mark, so I can stamp that right there. Look at that. I didn't do a very good cleanup job, but that's okay. Our little purple flag. So we're gonna spice that up and color that in. Grab a little bit of paper just to test my colors, because I don't always know. So that's a darker one. So we'll do the dark purple on the pole itself, like so. And maybe a little bit there for shading. And then we're just going to pull that right in there. And I'm going to go over it a lot of times to help smooth it out. And there's our flag. Look at that. Ooh, and you know, we have that teeny heart Ooh, how much? I was going to put a heart. Yeah, the heart is smaller, so we'll do the heart because that star's just a little too big. Or maybe they're in Canada. We could give them like a little leaf. Oh, that one's a little too big too. I'm trying here, trying. You guys might have some sequins or confetti stuff that might be small enough. But I'll just use the teeny little heart that the set comes with. If I can find you. And then we'll have a little heart on ours. And we'll do the heart in black just so it shows up good. Maybe get that pulled apart. Okay, and then we'll just put a teeny little heart right in the center of our flag. I pushed down too hard. But we can definitely fix that with a gel pen. We'll let that dry a little and then we'll go back with a gel pen. Don't squish it to death. Okay, let me put this away so I don't lose it, because I would totally lose that. Totally lose that heart. Okay. Well, since I've got my block out, let's do a couple of the snowflakes. I've got another tiny one right there. Little mouse, you're all crooked in your spot. Okay, so I've got a couple of snowflakes, and I'm just going to stamp them in the clear skies. Same ink. Get a couple of those ones. Okay. That little snowflake. And then we've got this one here. Nice, cute little easy background builders. Little snowflakes. Look at that. 3 of those there. And then our teeniest one. Use the teeniest one to fill in. Be sure to press evenly. I get a little light-handed sometimes. And then I'll do one there because I don't know how much it's going to pop through. But yeah. Ooh, doesn't that look nice? I think it's going to be beautiful. And then I can even use the other side of this because it was pretty too. It's a pinkish frame. We'll decide that in a little bit. Okay, so there's our 3 tiny little snowflakes. And then our snowballs, which I forgot about them. We'll paint them, well, not paint them, we'll stamp them right in between, but I think I want to stamp them. Let's see, we're going to have our ring, we're going to have a mouse. Okay, so this mouse is here, so his snowball, I think it's going to go right there. So I'm going to put that one right there. So I'm just going to use a darker blue since I kind of went blue crazy with all the rest of the stuff. I'll just get a darker blue so that it stands out really good. And I think I said, yeah, right about there, right into this little void area. Look at that. That snowball's on the way. And then we've got our other snowball, which is going to be thrown by this guy right here. Oops, got a little ink where I don't need it. Let's clean that up. So, oh look, it's like I knew I needed that there. Look at that. Our little snowballs. So adorable. Okay, so our snowballs are done. So we just need our little mice. which we have a wonderful chunk of paper left over. Look at that. We're just going to stamp these in the VersaFine Clair. Nope, I fibbed. We're going to do the Memento because that's alcohol friendly. Get this guy right there. Oh, look at how cute he is. We're just going to stamp him just an extra time in case I mess up. I'll have an extra stamp ready. And then we'll stamp that guy. Oops, that one didn't stamp very good. Let's try that again. Something's floating around in the air because I did take my allergy meds. I may have to take a Benadryl later. After the show, I may have to take a Benadryl. Okay, so we've got our little piece there. We've got that little piece there. Got a little frame. Look at those little miceys. Aren't they the cutest? So we used this to do our snow. So we don't want to do that color again. So why am I putting it away? I always do that. This is koala gray. So I think I'm going to have a gray and a brown mouse. So we'll do a gray mouse. Very easy coloring. Nothing fancy schmancy. We're just going to color it in nice and straight. These are some teeny weenies. Yeah, no, it's not a cold. My kids don't go to school. At school, they stay home. And my husband's the only one at work that works. And if I'm not mistaken, they're still wearing masks at work. I could be wrong. There we go. Get his little ear. We got a nice cute little gray mouse going on. And then do I want to do a cinnamon mouse? Oh yeah, look at that. That's going to be a cute mount. Yeah, we think I'm allergic to the flying particles from his work, the little tufty stuff, because his shirts make me sneeze. Yeah, look at how cute that is. And again, we're just doing the simple, easy coloring, no shading. We're just gonna fill in the color. Now, if you get line separation, I don't know if we can see this. Like right here, I've got a darker area because where one coloring meets the other. That just means you need to fill it in some more. Just add some more ink on that. Okay. And that will fill that in and give it a more even color. Yes, it does make it darker, but at least it's all colored in and uniformed. Those blotches come because there's not enough ink on the page. But if you like the blotchies, you know, you can definitely keep them. Look at that. And then we're going to go even more simple, and we're going to take a peachy color and do the ears and the belly and the nose on both of them. 3 colors, 2 mice. Look at that. Okay, just like so. And then we're gonna do our hats. We're gonna do a green hat. Oops. Well, I'm coloring the hat of the one we're not working with, because that works. Get that roll in just like so. Gray versus right, we could totally. If you did this on a slimline card, you totally could do that. And then I'll just get a darker green for this part. Look at that. Easy peasy. It looks so adorable, even if you don't do shading and all that stuff. And then we're going to do little pink, because you know pink and brown always looks good. Do one shade for the brim and the puffer ball, and then another shade for, oops, not that piece, for this bit right there. Look at that. Yeah. Oh ho ho, easy peasy, lemon squeezy. Get our fussy cutting scissors. And then we'll have those guys we can color later if we want to. And again, if you're not a fussy cutting person, they do have these for little die cuts. Okay, so you can easily cut these. Like so. Yep. Even though they're small, they're pretty easy. Pretty easy. Just give some extra room for their tails. There we go. Look at that. Just round your edges and you'll have a cuteness overload. Gloria. Yes. Leah. Glazabella, aka Leah. She loves fussy cutting too. I totally do. I don't know. I could fussy cut until my hand cramps. Yeah. Miss Gloria popped in. Hello, lovely ladies. I'm sorry about today's live. Was kind of weird. I was like, I can't do another live with the glitchies. Had to pull all the wires from everything. Make sure there was no dust in there. Which, you know, how do you get dust inside a wire that's been plugged in for days? And then reboot the system a couple of times. Because you reboot it and the app is like, oh, there's no connection. And you're like, there is somewhat. Just want to clean this little inner part up just a little bit. There we go. Just a little bit cleaner. There we go. There we go. Doesn't have to be perfect. Just super cute. All right, are we ready? It's warm up here. My glasses are sweating on my nose. Okay, so we have this little piece. Oh, I should have glued this down while we were... Oh no, because I needed that. So let's clean this, because like I said, it was a piece of packaging. So I'm just going to use a little bit of alcohol and my rag to get any oily fingerprints off. You know, packaging dust, whatever's there. Get that clean off. A little bit of sticky stuff. Color, there's a couple of tips to coloring. I'll have to do a little video on my tips for coloring, because once you know to like start on the inside and push the ink to the lines, and you know, going in, yeah. Yes, my Thursday Crescent creations are always 3 p.m. Eastern. We were running severely late today because my internet was being absolutely rude again. Like last night wasn't enough. Okay. There's that. Look at that. And if it squishes out, okay, it'll wipe up. Okay, if it squishes out, just get your little rag and wipe up that glue. It's not going to hurt nothing. We don't care how it looks on the back side, because that is going to be hidden by our lovely foam tape, which, if I did this right, will accept our 1/4 inch. Look at that. Now, a lovely person named T, aka Not Afraid of Color, told me if you peel it, it's gonna bend way easier. And no joke, you guys, it really does. So you just kind of form it in there, in the little channel there. Look at that. It just bends right around, and it doesn't mind at all. I mean, look at that. This one's sticking off just a little bit. See if I can peel that back. Leave a little bit of the pink showing. Okay, now here's the important part, okay? I'm gonna grab ourselves another strip, and these are the strips from Crescent Creation. Now, I don't need the whole thing, I don't think. I think it's a little less than half. So I'm just gonna peel back most of it and pinch it back here. Okay, when you're doing shakers, we don't want any cracks. So I'm gonna make sure this is squished up next to the last piece right there. I'm just gonna squish that in there, make sure it's where I need it though. Okay, nice and tight squish so you have a nice seal. Try not to glue it to your table, because we don't want that. Okay, ooh, it almost is the entire 2 pieces for this big old circle that we made, and that is okay. Now you can see I've got a little overlapping, right? So I like to take my glue scissors and I cut it like this, but I don't cut it like here where they meet. I cut it a little where it's still overlapped a little. Just a little, not a ton. And then I squish it in there. Usually the tape is on there. Squish it in there so that it makes a nice seal. And see, when that goes flat, we're going to have a nice closed seal. This one's being a little bummy, but there we go. And look, that's all I had left. So I'm just going to chuck that little teeny weeny piece, because that's what I need to do. And there's our inside. Oh, I forgot to highlight our little snowballs. Let me get a little scrap piece of paper. Yeah, we're just gonna shadow the underneath. Okay, color those a little bit, just a couple little drops of color. Okay, and then we're gonna do the underneath and down a little, underneath and down a little, all on the same side. So I'm going down a little on the one side. Okay, pick one side and down, over and down, over. Can't really go down, so there it is. Haha. And then you can add a couple little fun dots here and there, just to spruce it up. Look at that. We add a little bit of character to our blocks, our little snowballs. Got the little shady on the bottom. Isn't that lovely? Okay, so now we have our circle that's going to go on there, and it doesn't matter how it goes because I'm not going to fuss to line that up. So what we're going to do is we're going to grab our bins from Crescent Creation, and we're going to throw in all the fun things. I've got penguins, because you can't have snow without a couple penguins. And this is how we utilize, you know, the spendy ones. Okay. The ones we want to treasure, we only do a couple. Okay. We're only going to do a couple. I'm going to do a couple of snowmen. Look at that. Two snowmen. Okay. I don't need a bunch. People can look for them as they shake it up and go, ooh, look at that. Okay. So the ones we, want to hoard, we just do less of. And then ones that we don't mind, okay, if we use a little bit more, we'll put a little bit more in. So there's some stars. All of these can be found at Crescent Creation. These are new. Ugh, can't wait. I think they're in the shop. I don't have a name for these ones. And like these ones, I could use quite a bit of these ones. And it won't even look like I hardly used any. See that? Look at that. Use those. Turn that upside down. And then this mix. This is a new one from Crescent Creation. So we're just using like pinches from a lot of mixes. Okay. Oh, love that. Just love that. And then it makes it last even longer. And then I'm going to throw in some seed beads, which are also at Crescent Creation. And these guys will just help things roll. So you don't need a ton. Okay. But this is a pretty big card. So I'm adding more, you guys, because I can't. And then these are a silver tone. Look at those. Ugh, just gorgeous. Just get those in there. I think I'm going to add a little bit more of these. Don't open them upside down, though, because that'll be a catastrophe. We're going to add more of those. Get in there. Try not to get anything on your sticky bits. Okay. Find my tweezers. Okay, and then something A little fuzzy got in there. Okay. Snowflakes. Snowflakes. I have snowflakes in this mix. And I have snowflakes from stuff I've purchased. So let me go grab my other ones. Crescent Creation does have snowflakes. I don't know if she has them by themselves, but they do come in a couple of the mixes. But I also have some that I bought. I bought mine a long while ago. There we go. And my miscellaneous. There we go. Get some of those snowflakies. And I've got a lot of these snowflakes, so I can drop a ton of those in there. I bought a huge jar. Huge jar of snowflakes. All right. That looks pretty good, I think. I mean, we don't really want to cover all of our goodness up, but we still want a good bit because it's a pretty big circle. I mean, I made, what is this? I made a 3.5 inch circle. So now we want to make sure our image is on the sequins. And what I'm going to do is just make sure they're not too stacked. Okay, we're just going to get them spread out just a little bit like that guy there. Don't need them standing up in there. Okay. So if your ring is directional, you might want to put that on last. But, oh, you know what? Let's put a little bit of glue on it. This was another tip that they gave. Put a little bit of glue on your foam and it will help it wiggle around a little. And if maybe you touched it a lot, it'll just strengthen your adhesive. But I do gotta say, this adhesive from Crescent Creation, these foams, they're pretty sticky. They're pretty sticky. That's awesome, Janine. Gloria's got a brilliant idea. Snowflakes, yeah. Yep, I saw that. Yay. So if you're rewatching or if you're new to Crescent Creation, I do have a channel. I do lives every Monday and Wednesday at 7 p.m. Eastern. And they're talking about yesterday's live where we made some house shaker ornaments. And I want more. I want more shakers in my life. I do love them. That went down really easy, but see, I can still move it around a hair. If I hadn't have got, I didn't push it down enough. So hopefully those won't glue in there. I got glue on those shaker bits because I didn't push that down good enough. Learn from me. Make sure you push it down really good before you go shaking things up. Oh my goodness. Ugh, and they're stuck at the top. That's okay. We don't mind. Those are the ones that got glued in there. That's okay, because it's just fun. Okay, let's clean our desk, because I got glue everywhere. Glue, glue, glue. Glue is sticky. Oh, Miss Bethany popped in. I'm sorry, I didn't see you in there. Or did I? Did I say hello? Oh my gosh, my mind. I don't know. Okay, so make sure that's all good. Oh my goodness. Look at that. And then all those little shaker bits are right there in our snow area. And then when you're shaking it, you can say, oh, there's one of the penguins. Got a little hot mess going on in there. That's why I like the little seed beads. They help things get rolling. Oh, there's the 3 penguins and the two snowflakes, or 2 snowmen. Yeah, I can't believe I glued those together, but that's okay. That's okay. Okay, so now we're going to set those aside. Excuse me little bits. Set those aside so I can get my little card here. Now, this designer paper was in my stack. Against the white is a little too white for me. So we're going to grab that same beautiful blue that we used inside the card, and we're just going to spice up the edges. Just spice them up. So we're going to take a little bit of that blue and hit the corners really good. Okay. Get those nice and inky. And then just a little bit around the edges. Just like so. So that blue picks, or will pick up really easily. We're gonna really ink up the corner. And I'm doing an archy motion. You know, a vignette is most of the time a circular thing that you do in photo editing. So to make one, we just want to go in an archy motion. We don't want to go straight across. Go in an archy motion. And then connect our 2 blues right there. I mean, look at that. Big old change in the Beautimus. And then I think I'll just hit the inside a little bit. I don't know how much of that we'll see because we're going to put our little ornament in there. Okay, make sure that's nice and clean. And I'll show you the difference. Okay, this is why we ink up. So this is the same cardstock we're using, and see how it just kind of blends into the white card panel. Now check this out. Are you ready? Ba-bam! Look at that. It just stands out a little bit more. It looks gorgeous. We're gonna glue this one down. Ms. Pam left her chocolate at the wrong house. Get this glued down. There we go. Put the pin back in that. Get our card base, make sure it's opening on the right direction. And if you have a side that's dirty, well, put your card panel on that to cover it up. If you have 2 sides are dirty, well, that's okay. Just tell them it's not extra for that extra ink on the back. That is free. Little boo-boos are free. Okay. So there's that. And then, oh, look at that. That's just going to pop right back in there. Just like so. I mean, look at that. So we only had to use 1 designer piece to do our background and this, because we cut the circle out so that we could cut this. Okay. I hope that makes sense. Because if we actually waited, if we put this in here and waited to put this on, we could have turned it to fit back in there, but yeah, I'm not that talented, so we didn't. Ugh, how adorable. And if you wanted it even more, you could pop that up, but this foam tape from Crescent Creation is pretty thick. I mean, it's got good thickness to it. So we're just going to add some glue to the back, like so. Let's put a pin in it, Elizabeth, because we'd need to do that. Okay, and then what I want to make sure is that my bricks are straight. Okay. I don't want to look at my flag because remember I put that down crooked on purpose. There we go. There we go. I think it's fabulous. Check that out. And then our little miceys. Okay. What I'm going to do is figure out where I want them. Look at that. He's throwing his little snowball. This one, he's going to be up a little bit higher. He's going to throw his snowball. Okay. So we're going to add a little bit of glue. Not to the tail because that was hanging off. So we'll put that guy right there. Like so. And some of that ear was hanging off. So I'm just going to put glue on this front half here. And put that right there. Look at that. Oh my goodness. Little shaker goodness. Okay, we're going to let that glue settle on those before we shake the bejeebers out of it again. Because, you know, you get a little shaky. You got to do some shaking. Got a little shaking going on. Here is our sentiment from the same stamp set, the Snowball Fight from Lawn Fawn. It says, I hope your day is a hit. Gotta love that. Hope your day is a hit. This is not big enough, so we're going to grab our next block. And I'm just going to pick it up with the edge of this because this one doesn't have lines. So we're going to use the edge of it as our line. I think that's pretty good. Okay. And I think the VersaFine Clear should work very well. And the plus side is if I muck it up, I can always stamp it again and put that over, right? Okay, so here we go. Right under there, I'm going to go down a little bit. And just commit. Just commit to that. Hope your day is a hit. Oh, and I agree with that sentiment. I hope you guys are having a great day today, being crafty or just enjoying the day. It seems like a nice one out there. Not too hot, not too cold. Here in Ohio. Yes, mix your shaker bits. Oh my goodness. And, you know, putting a little pinch from all sorts will really let your shaker bits last a really long time. Yeah, I have star glow-in-the-dark shaker bits. I want more glow-in-the-dark shaker bits. I did get the stars from Crescent Creation. And don't be sad if your stuff sticks. It happens to all of us. Okay? It just makes it more interesting and fun. Just shake it. Look at that. A little snowman. I just kind of abused it there for a second. But yeah, look at. Oh, those little snowballs in there. Isn't that just adorable? I really had fun with this card. Nice, easy coloring. If you lose some coloring, like his little eyeball just kind of got lost. I just noticed that. He's like got no eyeball. So I'm going to take a black marker and put a dot right where it was. Push that down. And then he'll get that. And then maybe we'll give him back his little smile. Just like so. So you can trace back over with like a fine tip pen or whatever. Yeah, because there's a glare going on. There we go. There he is. His little eyeball, and he's smiling. So there that is. I want to thank you guys for hanging out. And again, apologize for the lateness of it. But we got to do what we got to do. Haha. To make sure everything is running cool. And, you guys, I had a lot of fun. I hope this inspires you to make some shaker thingies. And you can do this with anything. Maybe there's a Christmas tree stamp that you have with some little, if we had a little Christmas tree, it could almost be like they were throwing the ornaments onto the tree. Wouldn't that be funny? But yeah, little critters on the outside, a little something something on the inside. Pam says, I'm glad you were late, otherwise I would have missed it. Yeah. So thank you for hanging out with me, everyone, and we will see you next time. That would be next Thursday, 3 p.m. Eastern, right here on the Crescent Creation channel. Be sure to check out the shop. Lots of goodies already on sale. Use code Elizabeth Creates to save 10% on regular priced items. There is an affiliate link down below direct to this cute little stamp set at the shop, and you can view the rest of the shop from there too. Have a great day, everyone. Bye bye.